imagine. Imagine if you could stop all of the distraction in your life, really get to the heart of the matters, to be able to blow this year up, to move forward into a healthy and more vital you. Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. Hi there, I'm Carol Serby, and I'm with the Omineca Healing Institute, Northern British Columbia's premier institute for hypnotherapy, timeline therapy, neuro-linguistic programming, energy healing, ceremony trainings, and workshops. So thank you so much for joining me here today. So here in this live broadcast, we talk about following your map, revolutionizing the way and understanding the way your body is speaking to you through pain, illness, injury, and disease. So the one thing that our body is really good at, is showing us what we're ignoring. So it's my school of thought, and many others, Brent Baum, Deepak Chopra, Louise Hay, Carolyn Miss, Barbara Brennan. There's a lot of people out there that have this school of thought that when we don't deal with emotions, and most of them are unconscious, subconscious emotions that we had an experience in a blink of an eye, in a moment, at an age where we were too young to deal with it, and we just filed it away for later. I'll deal with this later when I'm older and I know better. Well, the problem is we never deal with them, and we pile on and pile on and pile on. We distract ourselves with other things. We distract ourselves with trying to be better, trying to do better, trying to have more, trying to whatever your better, bigger distraction is. The problem comes when we don't deal with these emotions that we've held back. They come up in our system and are usually referred to as blockages. I have a block in that area. Something's in my way. I can't seem to push through. I can't seem to make it to the next level. Is any of this language sounding familiar to you about what you can and can't do? Well, you're the epiphany of vibration. You're the epiphany of being able to bring to you and do whatever you want to do. The problem is that we ignore the stuff that is stuck in our energy field that's holding us back, because the reason it does this is if you had an experience in the past and the result was negative, right? And we haven't processed how we feel about it and how we should properly deal with it and soothe ourselves over it. What happens is when you go to do something else where maybe you have to stretch yourself a little bit, maybe you have to be a little bit bigger, and I mean in this kind of way, doing a Facebook Live or doing a live speaking or standing up in front of groups, when you have to be a little bigger, but you still have that experience in the past where you've gone, oh, but that hurt. So how do you balance the two? So you distract yourself. You distract yourself by saying, oh, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try to be better. I'm going to try to do better. The fact of the matter is you have the capacity. There's just a couple of things in your way. Okay? So what we need to do is we need to have some, what I call emotional maturity. And I like to look at our emotional selves as kind of like that 2-year-old, that when we're faced with a circumstance, sometimes we stand there and we have our little temper tantrum, right? The problem with having a temper tantrum is sometimes you throw stuff out that you didn't necessarily mean, or you didn't necessarily intend, or that is going to have some significant impacts on relationships in the future, in moving forward. Now, if that happens and you want those relationships impacted, then that's fine. If that happens and you don't want those relationships impacted, then you've got trouble. So when I talk about emotional maturity, what I mean is to allow yourself the time and space to do your rah, 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 But sit in a third person point of view and just have yourself observe yourself going through this. You have to let the emotions flow. You have to let it out. Doesn't mean that you have to let it out to someone else, to your boss, to your neighbor, to your best friend. Grab a teddy bear. If you have to talk to something, grab a teddy bear, grab your pillow, grab a blankie, grab whatever. Let it out and observe your emotions. And allow it to flow through you. Allow it to come until you feel complete. And then, once that's complete and you take that big breath, then you can go, okay, what was that about? Right? What's the true nature? What's the true nature of what was that about? And so that's where our emotional maturity comes in, is to realize that we have to let this out. We don't necessarily have to let it out in front of anybody else. Sometimes it's appropriate. I'm going to say most of the time it's not. Understand what you're dealing with, and then you're better prepared to deal with it in a rational, reasonable manner. Okay? There's another thing that we do to distract ourselves, and I want to reference this book, The Presence Process by Michael Brown. I haven't read the whole book yet, but I just saw this point here and I thought, oh, this is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. So the first level of resistance in distracting ourselves is a physical level, and it's evident when we say to ourselves, I don't feel like doing this. This is too hard. And of course, here we are the first week into the new year, 2018. And how many of you have created New Year's resolutions and you're already coming up against this? This is your physical resistance to making the changes that you want to make. Okay? So I just want you to recognize it. Recognize it for what it is. Recognize for its ability to distract you from what you say you want. And in that, there's always the other question, do you really want what you say? But that's a whole other subject, okay? And I'm going to talk about that a little later. The second level of resistance is in the mental, and it's evident when we say to ourselves, I don't feel like doing this because nothing is happening. It's boring. Again, you're distracting yourself from what you say you want. It's boring. It's boring. Nothing's happening. It's not like I'm watching YouTube and I'm watching all these videos and, someone's there entertaining me. Well, sometimes we have to have a little bit of self-discipline. Sometimes we have to be able to sit and feel and sense and know what we want and why we want it. And be able to move past the, oh, this is boring, to, oh my God, when I actually achieve this, this is going to be so exciting, right? And the third part is, the third level of resistance is the emotional. And it's evident when we say to ourselves, I think I can stop now because I feel all right. I feel fine or okay. Or when we use any such emotionally numb word. So in that level, when you're distracting yourself emotionally, you have to ask yourself, have I achieved my final goal? Have I achieved? And the chances are, if you're feeling fine or okay, chances are you haven't. Because if you're stretching yourself to reach a final goal, you should probably feel a little nervous. You should probably feel a little, maybe stressed out, right? You're pushing yourself. You're treading in new territory, and it's all cool. It's super cool, super cool. But I don't think you should feel just okay, right? So again, another distraction. I feel okay in this, so I am safe. Realizing that stepping out of your okayness might make you feel a little, unsafe. Anyways. This conversation was a little bit about distraction, a little bit about some of the things that we do on an emotional, mental level to really distract ourselves from what we want. And then there's all the other stuff, you know, when we're dealing with these deep layers of repressed emotions, the eating, the fighting, the obsessive exercise, and of course how it all comes out in your pain, illness, injury, and disease. Okay, so a little tidbit for today. If you're looking for energy healing techniques, inspiration, or understanding of how your body is speaking to you, sign up for a monthly email update today at ominecahealing.ca. I just send once a month monthly digest of all of these types of trainings that we do live online and all the workshops that are available coming up. And if you'd like an opportunity to work with me, then again, visit ominecahealing.ca and sign up for a free clarity call. Now, I get the question a lot, what is a clarity call? Well, it can really be whatever you need it to be. So if you have questions about hypnosis and hypnotherapy and NLP, we can talk about that. If you have questions about energy healing modalities, we can talk about that. If you have any questions about how to release the repressed emotions, to clear yourself of your pain, illness, injury, and disease, we can definitely talk about that. I can talk from everything from Milton model to, you know, 7 layers of the heart-centered chakra. So it can really be whatever you need. So it's a 30-minute conversation with me, free. You can book that at ominecahealing.ca. And I'll offer ideas as we're chatting. And of course, I'll direct you to any free training that I have on that subject. You can ask me questions. And if I think I'm a match and I think you can work with me and I can work with you and it'd be beneficial, I'll definitely give you an offer to work with me. So we also offer monthly lectures and workshops. They're live. I am working on streaming them live for those people that are outside the regional area that would also like to attend but can't physically attend. So that's something new that I'm working on. It's my purpose to support you in your courage, support your clarity, and listening intuitively to the mastery that's already in your own body so you can live full throttle and give permission to others to do the same. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you again live next Thursday morning, 9 a.m. Have a great day. Bye.